Greetings, and welcome to what could be my only edition of Wanted Bad Guys. I'm Mr. Bruno. On this show, we tackle some of the most dangerous criminals to have ever hit the animation industry. For example, Grandfather, wanted for turning the entire world into ancient, ageified senior zombies. Or Klaus and Claudia Furstein, wanted for diamond smuggling, stealing the Klotman diamond, and using chipmunks as pets for illegal delivery. But perhaps the most dangerous of these criminals are today's topics, Madame LaCroque Fickelman and Henri Benoit.
I still can't understand it. I gave him everything, a nice home, enough food to feed Colorado for a year.
Yeah, he used to annoy me when I was delivering the mail. Last year, for instance, he poured a tube of super-hold glue into my pouch.
Did you ever get things unstuck?
We're working on it.
How could it have happened? How could these two have gone to such a life of crime? It all started a long time ago. Madame LaCroque Fickelman, or Madame LaCroque as she likes to be called, once used to be a can-can dancer in a cabaret in Paris, France. When all of a sudden, one night, she accidentally ripped her dress to shreds, and she fell off the stage accidentally, and she felt so publicly humiliated she could no longer perform. So, without any money, she sold her long yellow hair to make lace. And so, she became addicted to laces. This criminal, wanting revenge on all the world, decided to make a sweatshop where girls could work on lace on no end. She was like the Pharaoh of Egypt in France. And so how does she plan to do that? Well, that was when she met Henri Benoit. Henri was a failed Shakespearean actor who was only good at making accents, and she hated big players, almost as much as she hated little girls who don't know when to be afraid. And how does she and Henri plan to take over the world? Why, by lying to the court papers and telling about these fake schools and all these sort of things and pretending to be family members and all sorts of stuff. Like either Henri or LaCroque could pretend to be family members and they just stupidly fall for it.
It happened so suddenly. One day he was my cat. The next day, they had him on the 10 most wanted list.
The police? The FBI?
The National Association of Bakers.
But how did this happen? But how did this soon get found out? Well, it all happened August 3rd, 1999. Henri, going to the old house in Paris that was covered with vines, where Madeline lives, comes to visit and claims himself as the long-lost Uncle Horst from Vienna. Little did I realize he was not from Vienna, but he had a German accent, saying things like Nein and Ja and Auf Wiedersehen. I don't think he even knows where Austria is. But anyways, it was soon figured out that he was not from Vienna because he accidentally stepped his foot with the suitcase.
Sacre bleu, mon pied!
Uncle Horst, what happened to your Viennese accent?
Viennese? What?
And she forces them to work on lace for as long as she chooses. And if you're not quick, she will cut off your hair and use it to make lace. And if she does cut off your hair too much, you'll get killed. And there are certain rules she made to this sort of thing. No laughter or smiling. No defending for someone. Otherwise, you'll end up being inside the detention room. One day, this went on so far for a little girl, sick girl named Fifi, that Madeline tried to stand up for her, but before LaCroque could even listen more, she decides to throw her into a cell.
You need is a lesson. Silence!
Madeline decided she could take it no more, and decides she and the lace girls must escape. When questioned, authorities had this to say.
I've assembled a special task force. They will not rest until this arch criminal is apprehended.
Any truth to the rumor that he's been stealing pants?
Absolutely and totally untrue. That's all, gentlemen.
The stories about him stealing pants, I'm convinced those are totally, completely untrue.
And why is this?
You can't eat pants.
Thank you, Mr. Arbuckle.
You're welcome.
They've tried everything. They've tried making laces that say help on them, having mice eat the lace fabrics, and even try to escape out the window. But of course, Madame LaCroque is not easily fooled. She's not dumb enough to fall for any of those things. And so, she plans to cut off Madeline's hair, the rarest lace of all, which is red lace. Of course, before she could dare to kill Madeline, Pepito's shrunken head from Brazil scares the croc in front of her, and she drops the wig. And she falls off, and meanwhile, Henri tells the cops about Madeline's whereabouts. And soon, the criminal career of LaCroque Finkelman and Henri Benoit came to an end.
Fitting curtain for a coward.
They were found guilty of lying to the courts, not caring for the sick and helpless, not falling for any tricks, and attempted to cut off a young little girl's red hair. And they were sentenced to a whole mess of years in prison. 10 years ago, after the film's release, newspapers came across reading, Henri and LaCroque jailed. Henri released for good behavior. LaCroque dies in prison. On a similar note, Lauren Bacall, who voiced Madame LaCroque in the film Madeline Lost in Paris, passed away in 2014 after she recorded her lines for the Family Guy episode, Mom's the Word. Lauren Bacall, for those who don't know, was Humphrey Bogart's wife. So, it's art. I guess it's life imitating art in a sense, but not all that much. Well, that's about it. Just stay away from people who want to do child labor, because child labor should be illegal. Well, that's about it. That's all I have for this video. Just stay tuned to this channel to see what comes up next, and I'll see you later.